doing, good people? This is the 8-bit animal. Okay, so war has been done to death in gaming. But back in the early 80s, it wasn't. And there was a need for a good action game out there. Capcom decided they would answer the call, and in 1985 they released a top-down shooter that will become the mold by which most other top-down shooters were made in the arcades. That game spawned Akari Warriors, Guerrilla War, Heavy Barrel, Thunder Fox, Shock Troopers, and every other top-down shooter that came out. Even today, with the recent release of the Expendables movie tie-in game that was released on XBLA, these games all owe a debt of gratitude to today's game. Now, if you haven't figured out yet, today's game is Commando. Now, Commando, you play as a soldier named Super Joe. And Super Joe is dropped into a hostile environment via helicopter and charged with, as it says on the label, destroying the enemy army by himself. Also, there are POWs for him to rescue. So, it's a little two-pronged thing. You're armed with a limited number of grenades and a machine gun that will fire unlimited rounds. And that's pretty much it. That's what you get. There are a few differences between this version of Commando and the arcade version to kind of extend the life of the home cart. There are less levels in the home port of Commando, but the levels are longer. And there are actually a few power-ups in the home version of Commando versus the arcade version. Whereas the home version, you're dropped in, you fight until you die, and that's it. That's how it is with the arcade version. The home version, you can pick up some power-ups. Stuff that will allow you to, one example, grenades that will kill everything on the screen. Well, a grenade that will kill everything on the screen, because you only get one. And to say this is one of the first third-party titles released on the NES, because this game is from 1986. It holds up pretty well, even with the graphical flicker and, the little graphical glitches that are in there, that are present. You could tell Capcom was kind of polishing what they were doing with this game. Commando proves to be one of the better games on the NES, bar none. And again, it's one of those titles that even now, years after the end of the NES life cycle, you can look back, and if you could pick out one action game that just brought that arcade experience home on the NES, it may have been Commando. Now, you can find copies of Commando pretty cheap. Pretty much get them from wherever. I got my copy actually when I bought another NES. I got this copy along with Bionic Commando and some other games for free. But that's another story for another day. This has been the 8-bit Animal, and I will catch you beautiful people tomorrow.